WWE is nearing a sale and a buyer has potentially been revealed. We've got an update on Shane McMahon after the shock WrestleMania return, and multiple WWE stars have teased post-WrestleMania departures, so stay tuned. What an eventful WrestleMania weekend it has been. I'm joined by one of the new Cultaholic heavyweight champions, but we are here to talk about WWE potentially being sold very, very soon. And who are they potentially being sold to?
So, from CNBC, they've reported that it's being sold to Endeavor Group. Now, if you know the name and are familiar with Endeavor, it's because they own the UFC. What they said in a report, World Wrestling Entertainment is in advanced talks to be sold to Ari Emanuel's Endeavor Group, the parent company of UFC, according to people familiar with the matter. Sources claim a deal could be announced as soon as today, as in Monday, the 3rd of April. My God, this year's going fast, isn't it?
It certainly is.
UFC and WWE are expected to merge and form a new publicly traded company as part of the agreement.
Huge news.
Wow.
We'll tell you a little bit more about Endeavor. It's headed up by media exec Ari Emanuel, as you say. They made a successful purchase of UFC in 2021 after many years guiding the careers of its talent through media partnerships. From CNBC, UFC has massively paid off for the group. Last year, they helped Endeavor's sports business make $1.3 billion in revenue. WWE generated $1.29 billion in revenue last year, driven mainly by its $1 billion media unit. So what would the new company look like?
It's expected that Ari Emanuel is going to act as chief executive of both Endeavor and the new company, the joint company between UFC and WWE. Vince McMahon, likewise, is expected to be the executive chairman, while Endeavor president Mark Shapiro will work in the same role, but in the new company. Dana White will remain as president of the UFC, whilst WWE CEO Nick Khan will serve as president of the wrestling side of the business. Endeavor is slated to own 51% of the new combat sports and entertainment company, while WWE shareholders would get 49%. The Endeavor deal gives WWE Enterprise a value of $9.3 billion. That's with the pinky.
Absolutely bonkers. So Triple H made a very, very, very brief comment on this in the post-WrestleMania media scrum. He said, "We'll address the elephant in the room." And then somebody asked a question about it and he went, "Am I going to talk about this?" No, it just went no. So they're not answering any questions. Roman Reigns was asked a similar question and basically just sort of laughed it off. Paul Heyman didn't look very happy.
It was Nick Hausman and Paul Heyman goes, "You've got a bad habit of starting things at press conferences."
I mean, you've got to expect to be asked, right?
Reigns was great with it because Nick Hausman's the guy that started the CM Punk thing, and then Reigns was like, "Hey, weren't you in an improv group?" It was really good. They played it off well, but yeah, they had to address it at some point. Triple H being like, "No, we want to focus on WrestleMania that's just happened, not whatever's coming next."
There's certainly a lot to talk about, a lot to speculate on here with regards to both the on-screen product and the behind-the-scenes running. We will get into more detail that in the coming week for sure. My biggest concern about this is that we've been spoiled for a long time with WWE Network, but Endeavor have a habit of doing pay-per-view stuff proper, and they charge a pretty penny, between $60 and $80, I think, depending on the event. So anything could happen. We will keep you updated, of course, and there'll be further information at cultaholic.com as well. We've got an update now on Shane O'Mac. Shane O'Mac making his triumphant return to WWE in an all-time great WrestleMania moment. He confronted The Miz. They had a little impromptu match. It didn't quite go to plan, unfortunately. Shane...
One leapfrog. Shane... Just as Michael Cole goes, he's still got it.
He sure does. So we got a bit of an update there. It was confirmed in the media scrum by Triple H that Shane tore his quad. Shades of Vince McMahon, but Shane only managed one, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And then, bloody, God bless Snoop Doggy Dogg.
The dog father of WrestleMania.
The dog father of WrestleMania.
He jumped in and he, on the fly, called a match. And he did it really, really well. Yeah. Triple H put him over in the media
match
call.
Is a strong thing.
Well, he won a match at WrestleMania with Shane O'Mac.
Yes.
Triple H jokingly on the press conference being like, Shane O'Mac making his triumphant return. It could have gone longer. It was planned to go longer, but Snoop Dogg getting in there and being a pro, and he was a pro. But it's a shame to see Shane O'Mac get injured. It's a shame to see anyone get injured. But it made for A WrestleMania moment for sure.
Exactly. We'll keep you updated on Shane McMahon as well. We send Shane the best in his recovery. Another match, a little bit hampered by injury, perhaps. It turned out to be pretty damn good still, but the Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. We got a little bit of an update on that. If you were wondering what happened when the cameras cut away, it was confirmed that medical personnel applied like a numbing cream
to him, yeah.
I don't know. And then stapled his bloody head in the middle of the match.
Yeah.
So that's why Edge was loitering about for a bit, and they were buying time, essentially. They got it done really quick, given the circumstances, to be honest. Triple H giving an update in that post-WrestleMania press conference once again, saying that Finn was totally fine. It appeared that he was a bit rocked and everything, and understandably so. God bless him for carrying on and put some
really
seriously risky spots as well, following what went on. He was obviously rocked. But it turned into a pretty
good match. We were
speculating
on the stream that it was maybe they were rushing to go through the big spots, but perhaps the fact that they got everything they needed to in, and it still produced such a great match. I wonder what they would have done if it didn't have the scare.
Yeah, it went 18 minutes, and I think a lot of us expected it to go maybe 25, even 30 or something like that. But it was still entertaining nonetheless. We finish off with the news that multiple WWE stars, some major names here, teasing post-WrestleMania departures from the company. So first of all, Bayley is one to mention. She shared a social media post following the loss, damage control getting beat, unfortunately. She said, and sometimes the most romantic love story comes to an end. Bye. So she could be teasing the fact that, the damage control are over. She could be teasing her departure from the company. We'll keep you updated. Following the triple threat match, the excellent triple threat match for the IC title against Sheamus and Gunther, Drew McIntyre shared a waving emoji 3 times over on Twitter. It was also, this wasn't caught on camera, but after the match, him and Sheamus embracing, embracing, having a bit of a hug. It's been reported that Drew's contract is coming to an end relatively soon.
So the reports have been saying that his contract is up this year, and that he is yet to agree to a new deal. That was from PW Insider, and it looks like if they've not agreed to a new deal and he's doing little teases here, there is a good chance that it might be the last WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre at this current point in time.
It could be. I don't think so. I think Drew's so valuable. Like, he's a guy that you can throw into the main event mix at any point, and he's a believable opponent for whoever is champion.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like, he really did carry the company throughout the pandemic. During really turbulent times, he was excellent, and I think he's a wise investment because he is so consistently excellent. But at the same time, I see him doing like a Kevin Owens thing. You know, when Kevin Owens was rumored to be leaving, and he sort of played AEW and W off to get more money.
And it worked out really well for Kevin Owens. It worked out perfectly. So if that's what Drew's maybe doing, that could be business-wise, smartest move to do.
Yeah, get paid.
But hopefully it resolves itself soon and we can find out the future of Drew McIntyre.
And finally, she's now 0-5 at WrestleMania. It pains me to say that. Asuka tweeting, I might as well go back to Japan, but I bet a lot of you guys, my friends, will miss me when I leave WWE. Now I need the power of your anger. Let's bring chaos to the boring women's division. So it sounds like she might be sticking around to bring some chaos.
Yes.
But the fact that she's, the opening part of that, I might as well go back to Japan. I'm really gutted that Asuka was unsuccessful.
Yeah, it feels like it's something that if she's going to be teasing a new character, she is a new character at the moment. It's that more sort of mean streak that she's been showing. It felt like the right time to make that switch and then have her rejuvenate the women's division. But maybe they've just thought she doesn't need the title to do that, and she can do it elsewhere, and she can be Asuka without the belt and still bring that sort of chaos to the division.
A night of controversial finishes at WrestleMania, some big controversial losses, not least my own, of both of my Cultaholic heavyweight titles, thanks to this absolute moron right here. You can tune in live for Raw After Mania reactions. I'm going to be over on YouTube tonight. It starts at 1 a.m. It'd be lovely to see you there.